Welcome, race fans, back to SVR. My name is Webbo, here to join you for the race. As always, we are busy getting ourselves ready for the penultimate round in the championship, and it couldn't be better poised, both in the teams and the drivers' championship. Welcome to AJ and also to, I can't actually see, back on my chat, one moment. I did see it's Dummy who's already said hello, and welcome to you both and everybody else who's joining us live today. Make yourself heard, be part of the stream, access information from the links I've sent you to be part of the stream and let us know how things are going from your favourite driver's perspective, as well as keeping your eye on the stream as well. No doubt. Here are the team standings: 255 points for both Coach Dave and Delesi at the head of the field, with Mega Racing not far away. Hi to Red as well. It's great to see you, and yeah, I'm doing pretty well, thanks AJ. Just on the come down from my own race on my channel. Mega Racing in third place on 242, still might get into the mix. Kimmy's Racing Team on 240, and then nearly 100 points separating the top four from the bottom three. Brokaga in fifth, with JPI in sixth, Berkestein Racing in seventh. The drivers are getting ready for qualifying. I tell you what we'll do is we will do the drivers' standings after qualifying, because there's usually a little bit of a pause there. Hi to Larry here. Good morning. It's nearly evening here. But yeah, we are getting ourselves ready for the race. Hopefully we will get everything together for you, and we can give you as many bits of information as possible. The real key to watch today is the introduction of Adaptive Ink to the league. I'm reliably informed he is at or above Vader and Beregoz level. So this is going to be very interesting because, of course, we've got Beregoz and Vader fighting over the championship, and they've pretty much had this to themselves. We'll talk further about that, of course, as we get into the standings, but we need to make sure we catch every moment of qualifying here because, of course, the drivers tend to just have that first flying lap as a good reference, and it's difficult, it's rare to score better than that. Obviously Beregoz had his settings sorted and he had his foot flat to the floor, and as did I in qualifying. Managed to get out first and get an end of the pit box. Hopefully Beregoz will have a bit more luck in his qualifying than I did. Let's join him on board as we peer through and around the halo, and I will give you a different driver to watch picture in picture. But don't forget to check out the live streams with everybody. Let's give you Vader because that's, of course, where everything is required today between Beregoz and of course Vader. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to blow Vader's stream up as big as I can, I think, so that we make sure we can see everything here. So hopefully we'll be able to see enough to know whether he is purple or blue as we head down, then flying downhill in towards the Castrol S. Sorry, no, it's now the Ravenol hairpin before turning in towards the turn 2 and the Mercedes AMG Arena. You'll see on your left the arena section this is, down into turn 3, and track limits are incredibly generous on the exit of this one. This, believe it or not, is all track. I don't know why they don't just repaint the white lines out there, but the drivers are not allowed to pass around the outside. Through we go, turn 5 and now 6, Paget Racing corner, formerly known as Ford Curve, and then an important corner to set you up for a very long flat out section. This is turn 7, the Goodyear corner now, formerly Dunlop, heading up towards the unchanged Michael Schumacher S, and we build the speed. Easy flat, of course, for our S2 drivers before heading into the Xiaomi turn 10. This used to be the bit curver, it's now Bilstein, and I hope I've got my my pronunciations correctly. This is the Adven, now the Falcon corner, and then heading uphill towards the Vidal chicane. Lost its name, regained its name, and we have the Hyundai final corner now, formerly Coca-Cola curve, Let's see how those times stack up. Beregoz will be the first one across the line. Looks like Vader's got a little bit of traffic out there. That's not going to make him very happy. Beregoz in first position, as you would expect, first across the line, 35.7. Senor Dude, 2.3 seconds further back. Adaptive Inc. storms into pole position ahead of Beregoz and now Redux, with Vicinity slotting into 4th place. We've got Skycloud out there, who hasn't been quite on the top tier level, but she has an incredible amount of pace nonetheless. Here is Joe in 8th. Skycloud, well, that first lap isn't happening for Skycloud, sadly. Vader has pitted. Black Evo's got 9th place as he crosses the line. So Vader's gone into the pits for a new set of tyres, has he? He has gone into the pits for a new set of tyres. It is the G1 and G2 divisions where they cannot change tyres, and of course they'll be hoping to get rid of as much fuel as possible, although the drivers at the moment on my screen are showing as full tanks of fuel out of the pits, so I think I might have a bug there, unless fuel has been turned off for qualifying. That could be the explanation. This is Adaptive Inc. then. We'll call him Inc. rather than AI, as AJ says. Who's not a Yank today? Evo? We'll just check that out momentarily. I'll try and get there. Yeah, it looks like Black Evo has slotted into the Yank seat. So we won't get the triple cam view from Yank today. And Red is cheering on Kimmy's, of course. Wow, it's like 40 meters for Adaptive Inc. braking into the Vidal chicane. He's headed, and that's on his in lap. He's not taking it easy at all. So Adaptive Inc. coming on into the pits. He is 1 second faster than Beregoz on those flying laps at the moment. Bolide Faye has got himself into 3rd place, 1.5 seconds away from Adaptive Inc. But Beregoz, he's only half a second away in total. So looking pretty good then for him. It's just not looking great right out front, because Adaptive Inc. has managed to put in a 34.695. Amazing stuff. So we will see what Redux is doing. He's out on track. Looks like Adaptive Inc. Has come out on his out lap. What's Beregoz up to? I think he's about to start. He has just started a new flying lap. No, we're with Skycloud, who's put herself into 2nd place. Just 7/10 away, 3/4 of a second just about for Skycloud from Adaptive Inc. That was a tremendous lap from her. As we see an outlap underway from Beregoz. We see no Vader at the moment. He's down in 12th position. That's 14th even officially. We've got a couple of drivers who have not logged on to our Hector today, and that is affecting things somewhat. There is Vader. It says purple sector, but I can't imagine, after being off track as he just was, wrestling the car through there. Let's see if we can just catch that in the replay buffer. What happened? Well, it's on the very edge, isn't it, of being able to maintain momentum. But he got a purple first sector nonetheless. I don't think that is going to be it for Vader. He's got some traffic in front of him as well. Fingers crossed for him. It gets out of the way. Seeing the menacing sight of the Coach Dave Delta car following you in the mirrors. The heavy breathing of Lord Vader as well. As we run through, 3 minutes remain of the qualifying session. Adaptive Inc. has the fastest lap. He has not got onto Hector. He's not been able to join Hector in time. So Vader pits again with 3 minutes to go. That's tight, and Skycloud, I think, has hit the wall on the way into the pits. She won't thank me for finding this moment, I think, but kind of need to see it. What's happened here? Is it a late call into the pit lane? It is, and just getting her eye in here. Boom. Unfortunately, my apologies, Skycloud, but yeah, we have to see these things sometimes. Here is Adaptive Inc. then. Next lap, and it's purple. He's 0.4 of a second up on his own best time. So essentially what you're seeing is our regular season drivers on your tower, and I'm seeing Adaptive Inc. as P1 in the race. So hopefully that will be of interest to you guys. I'm waiting to see if Vader is going to get himself out for a lap here, or he's going to try a last to first challenge, maybe second, given the pace here of Adaptive Inc. Have a 1 hour Nürburgring Grand Prix length race to come for you. Not quite Grand Prix length, but not far away from it, and he's going faster still, Adaptive Inc. Nailing the throttle, nailing his braking positions. It's reading on my screen that he's got 0 fuel on his car, so I think the fuel gauges are broken in the lobby, and that's not going to make life very easy at all for us. He only has 3,500 miles in this SF23. Here he goes to the line then, and Adaptive Inc. faster still by 1.7 seconds. He goes 1:33.579. Beregoz is on a lap. It's going to be really important though to see where is Vader. He's come out of the pits behind SkyCloud. Obviously you want to use your overtake button as well and run on through. So Adaptive Inc. had used all of his. Here is Vader coming through then, and everybody holding their breath here to see if Vader on his outlap, he has one opportunity, a one shot here to make it count. He hasn't used a lot of his overtake, and now he's using it as much as he can, and we'll see if Vader, full size picture, naturally is able to make it count. We've got Beregoz. Hopefully that will arrive on screen. This is going to be really annoying if I have to press play on every time we go to a driver's point of view, but it looks like that is the situation then. Here is Vader then as he comes through. What's his time looking like? 29.7. We get absolutely no reference whatsoever other than the little timing beam. He was up on a mini sector, but he did have a purple sector in sector 1, so he's up-ish, but it's going to be so close to see. 2 minutes remaining, plus with the checkered flag falling now, Adaptive Inc. with the fastest lap, a 1:33.5. Beregoz, a 1:35.2. This is absolutely astonishing to see the pace of Adaptive Inc. as we go through. Now, that is the Xiaomi corner. That's Xiaomi, Chinese car manufacturer. Through Bilstein, and then heading uphill towards the Vidal chicane. Very late on the brakes, slight distraction of the car in front. Use both apexes aggressively through there. The driver is able to use the natural frequency setting now in S1, and then using that tiny bit of boost that he's got left to him. Vader goes pole by 1/1000th of a second. You have to be kidding me. 1/1000th of a second in the end. He beats Adaptive Inc.'s time. I cannot believe it. That is tremendous from Vader. He pushed incredibly hard. He had 3/4 of a tank of boost remaining to him on that final lap. Spent it all with the minimum fuel left on the car. And Vader goes fastest. Adaptive Inc. managed a 1:33.579. And Vader a 1:33.578. If you don't believe me because you can't see it on Hector, here it is in black and white. Absolutely insane pace from Vader in the end. A 33.578 ahead of Adaptive Inc. and SkyCloud with Beregoz in P4. Props to SkyCloud. What a turnaround from her last S1 race. That is insane from her. And Beregoz, who had the early pole position provisionally and is now in 4th place. With the whole race in front of him, of course. Grizzle and Redux 5th and 6th places, with Soulshock and Bolide Fame. A fairly quiet, uneventful qualifying for Bolide, but look out for him in the race, in the feature race, of course. Jose acting up, I guess, here in S1. He's in P9, definitely belongs in this division, with Scavvy and Vicinity 10th and 11th. Senor Dude is 12th, Black Evo is 13th, Jogon Sim is in 14th place. But I cannot believe I've never had a qualifying that close, and that was absolutely incredible from both Inc. and from Vader. But what a way to get through with one shot quali essentially for Vader. That was something else. Tremendous stuff from him. Props to him, and fantastic to have some competition out front for our drivers. So I'm going to stick the overlay back on. Unfortunately, that will reset for us. So that will be the best we can do. I'm going to select Bolide, who is on my tower the rearmost driver anyway, to see. And so I'm going to have to press play every single time I select a new driver. So That's somewhat frustrating. Let's go back to the standings then as we wait to see how things look. Looks like we're starting at 48 after, so I'm going to have to really hurry on here because we're running out of time. So in the Drivers' Championship, let's head over there. We've got Vader leading on 195 from Beregoz on 194, and trading wins and podiums each. Of course, Vader back in the lead, but just by 1 point. Remember, we have one round after this one left to go to decide our Season 2 2025 VR Sim Racing World Champion. Balofay in third, Soulshock in fourth, Vicinity in fifth with Scabby, were Grizzle, Jogon Sim and Senor Dude. Yank the Tank is in 10th with Mario. Skycloud storming up into 12th place in only her 4th race so far, 5th today. Redux in 13th, and Jose at the bottom as a full-time driver, so it says at the moment, but you can see just how everything has seesawed between our drivers. If you visit the website, I've given you the link for that in the live chat as well. But let's get into the S1 drivers intro. Welcome back, and fantastic intro video there from everybody. We just had to leave a little comment there to make sure that we didn't go just too early, but Matt is doing a phenomenal job of hosting today and about to get us underway for the race. Let me have your predictions in the chat today as well, and we've got a chat leaderboard running. AJ is already in the lead, of course, as one of the most loyal members of the YouTube channel. So congrats to him so far. But this is up for grabs today in the live chat, a new feature here on YouTube. Make sure, of course, that you're subscribing to the channel today, and you're able to subscribe to my channel as well. That's Webo Commentary at Webo Red 5. And we also have, via the homepage link up at the top of the chat, I have the SBR merch store, where you can pick up a little bit of racing history for this 2025 VR Sim Racing World Championship before the end of the season, of course. I hope you're all ready for this penultimate round. It's Nürburgring Grand Prix, and next time out we are going to be out there for we're going to go to Monza. Revelit, the engineering dashboard is in the chat. Please scroll up. Hopefully you'll be able to see that, and you can engineer for your favorite your driver and your team. I think that's going to be for Jan Placht Interiors. The final feature race then for today is beginning. I'm just going to get everything sorted out for you and get ourselves a good camera angle. Vader versus Adaptive Inc. here at the start of the race. We'll look out for anyone going bowling into this very difficult Ravenol hairpin for the first time. It's time for round 12 of the championship. And it's dropped the clutch and go. Everybody just crawling away from the start. Looks like a fairly good and even start at the front, but they're going to go side by side down into the hairpin for the first time, and Adaptive Inc. had the inside line. Vader takes him around the outside, hogs the inside line for turn 2 into turn 3, and he'll have the inside through the double left-hander, but it looks like Adaptive Inc. has got him back down the inside, but Vader holds on round into turn 4 and through turn 5, going super wide. Let's look out for anybody picking up any issues from the stewards on the way through there, but as I said earlier on, the track limits are super generous. Skyclouds holds on to third with Beregoz in 4th position. What a start then for Vader and Adaptive Inc. And they're going to duke it out going down. It's a game of chicken on the boost button here, and there goes Skycloud defending hard against Beregoz as well. We've got Soulshock up into 5th position. What a great start from him. Grizzle in 6th, Redux and Jose Luis Cervantes, but all eyes, of course, on the lead of this race as Vader will try to now provide some dirty air and no slipstream to Adaptive Inc. as we run through the Bilstein curve then for the first time of asking. It looks like nobody has had a major incident here at the start of our race. Everybody filtering through. There goes Skycloud in 3rd position. Still hanging on, just half a second away actually from Inc. with Beregoz and Soulshock. Beregoz on the medium tyres, Soulshock starting on the softs, and that kind of explains partly what happened with him. We've just had an overtake with a swap around from Grizzle and Jose Luis. That is soft tyres for each driver. Back to the front though, because I'm wondering if Adaptive Inc. is chasing down Vader. Absolutely not, but Beregoz and Skycloud go side by side into the Ravenol hairpin. That pushes Skycloud wide, no contact on the way into the next corner. She understeers into Beregoz, going through turn 2. Now it's turn 3, and Soulshock is going to take both of them. Soulshock down the inside. Insane with his soft tyre grip from Soulshock as he screams into 2nd position. Skycloud's on the medium, so is Beregoz, and they are. This is great to see. What an opportunistic driving from Soulshock there as we run through. I just want to replay the start as well. Let's just check in on everybody else, but let's go back to the start of the race and see how things went very early. Well, this is after the hairpin, and it looks like that's Joe who's gone to the back of the order. So very uneventful start actually, thinking about it now, as the drivers come on through. So back to the live action, which is where it's all at naturally, and it is Vader, Adaptive Inc. Soulshock now in 3rd place, but he's got to go fast while he's on the soft tyres. As he runs out wide, he's stretching the track limits there out onto the gravel. That's incredible, as Breo enjoyed that one through there. He says wow on that pass then from Soulshock. He is hooked up and ready to race today. Adaptive Inc. on the medium, so is Vader, as is Skycloud and Beregoz, but the joker in the pack here is Soulshock, with no shade on Soulshock at all. Jose has the soft tyres, both Pro Cargos have the softs, as well as the lead Kimmy's car, and here is Skycloud now, the second of those Kimmy's cars, and she's about to defend as Beregoz looks like he might be going for a move, but they both brake at a very even amount of times. Skycloud using every inch of the circuit as best she can, and then we've got some action going on further back. There goes Redux back through, and between the two, Bro Cargo getting, he's managing to get Grizzle down the inside here. This is the replay of the action. And that is a risky game, playing right onto the inside of the curb on the apex, but he made it stick, and great overtake from Redux in the end there. Scavvy in P9 and Boliday Faye in 10th, with Black Evo in 11th position. New red streaks on the car from Black Evo. Don't quite understand that one. We've got plenty of red on the race as it is. Boliday Faye's in 10th. We've got Senor Dude in 12th, with Vicinity in 13th place for Team Mega. Jogon Sim is at the back, but I don't think has lost ground just yet. Back to the front of the battle, the front of the grid, as we'll give you a driver picture-in-picture to watch. I think it's going to be really important to see Beregoz. So let's give you Beregoz here. as he gets on with his race. So there is Beregoz' stream on your bottom right of screen, and if I forget to press play at any point for you, then do let me know, because it's this is a new one for me. Vader leads, and he is enjoying having some great competition out there, as well as Beregoz. Soulshock is between the top two and the fourth and fifth cars, which is Skycloud and Beregoz. And Beregoz is going for it down the inside once again. And very different lines from both cars. Skycloud snaking around on the exit of a very low grip corner. Then she gets understeer with marbles on her tyres as she runs through turn 2 and 3. But Skycloud hanging on still. And Beregoz is going to get frustrated now. This is his championship, of course, to fight over. And we don't want to see drivers getting in the way of the championship, but of course prevailing against conditions like that is part of what makes you a champion sometimes. Jose is closing in now and becoming a threat behind with Beregoz and Skycloud. Jose on the soft tyres as we go through. Quite the battles at the front, says AJ. Absolutely, it is frantic out here, and you can see Beregoz as your picture-in-picture with the difficulty he has got, and his halo isn't fading out in his VR view. You don't spend a lot of time looking at that. You do see through it, I have to say. Let's join Redux then. He's also on those soft tyres. These guys are going to start getting a little bit caught up behind the medium tyre runners. Let's see if Beregoz is about to go for a move then into the Vidos chicane. Very sensible manoeuvring there from Skycloud, who just takes the middle of the road. There is no easy option for Beregoz, and he can't afford a 50-50 move that ends in contact at this point. There is still plenty of racing left to go. We are just 1/10 of the way through our feature races. They run through. That's a fastest lap, personal best for Beregoz. Adaptive Inc has the fastest lap at 1:35.805, and I just need to check in with just what that gap is looking like. It is looking like a third of a second right now as Adaptive Inc picks up the pace, and this is going to be fascinating then to see Vader absolutely challenged. Now, if you're Vader and you're leading the championship and Adaptive Inc is guest driving in this one, your main rival is losing time to you, hand over fist. Do you let him go, or do you waste your tyres and your boost hanging on to the lead of the race? Let me know what your approach would be if you're in this situation. Personally, I think I'd back out of it and let Adaptive Inc go. Try and learn something after he passes me, if possible. Because he does have incredible pace out there, especially, I'm sure, race management. But that is now Skycloud and Beregoz. Well, that's an interesting situation. That's Jose has got past Beregoz, and that has happened behind our replay buffer, unfortunately. Oh, it's Beregoz who had made the pass earlier on past Skycloud, and Beregoz spins slightly and loses out to both Skycloud and Jose Cervantes, who's looking for that inside line again. Skycloud shutting it down on the way through, but Jose will hope to try and drive around the outside of her, but he ends up with Beregoz tucked right down the inside as we go through. The soft tyres are going to start to fade soon, but it's not yet happening for him. So that's Beregoz down a position after gaining one. He's down 2 from that lofty height. Redux is closing in on Woe Grizzle in the background, and I think we've got a Team Mega car of Bolide Faye running in this one. Jose goes for an absolute dive bomb into the Ravenol hairpin. Let's see how that one looked on board with him, or maybe with the car following behind of Beregoz. Let's see if he can make an overtake stick here. That is very late, and Skycloud tries to turn in on the situation, and Beregoz can't manage to make ground from that one, unfortunately for him. And there goes Skycloud back on Jose, potentially. Let's see them run through here as Skycloud has that inside line for the next corner, the Goodyear corner of turn 8. Beregoz follows through. That's a risky one. He's slightly behind at the apex. They'll go side by side. The next one, of course, is a left-hander as Jose fights on, and they run into the Schumacher S, and Beregoz bravely hangs on around the outside, and they played a game of dare, and unfortunately Jose lost that particular battle. Let's see if he can win the war overall, but he's fighting with soft tyres against mediums, and those softs are going off. This is absolutely incredible from our drivers here, as Soulshock is in just a great position right now for Team Kimmy's, and Vader leads Adaptive Inc. 0.8 of a second. I don't know if Adaptive Inc. has been under any instruction not to punt off our leaders. I doubt it, because I don't think you tell a driver of Inc.'s caliber anything at all. So we will see as he runs a little bit wide. There may be a penalty coming out there, but he'll be wise enough just to lift off the throttle and survives this one. You can see the drivers going all four wheels off not only the racetrack of the Grand Prix layout here at Nürburgring, but across the extended sprint section and on the grass after that as well. It's insane how generous these track limits are. Beregoz's gap to Vader at the moment is 16.3 seconds, and he's on the same tyres as him. So that is a big deal for Beregoz. Can he recover from this awkward start to the race? Of course, he ended up qualifying low down for him and his high standards. Let's switch over to Balofey, shall we, who is just a few tenths of a second. I think I'm reading 5/10 of a second away from Redux in front, as we keep our focus on these this front group. Skycloud has managed to put a small bit of breathing room between herself and Beregoz, and all the action likely to happen around the Brokaga cars here, and Balofey is catching Redux hand over fist as the soft tyres, I'm sure, are starting to go. Balofey 2 tyres off onto the gravel, dirtying up that outside tyre. It cleans up on a long run through the Vulcan Bogen of turn I want to say turn 12 that was, yes, and Vidal chicane next up. We've got behind him Scavy, who's moved up well, but he's on the soft tyres as well. Back to the front action, and it is a second between the two as they go wide on the way through the AMG arena, and then a tuck in to the right hand turn 4, very wide out of turn 5, and this is down the RTL straight and into the Paget Racing right-hander for a very similar profile, but a greater degree of turning into the Goodyear corner next. I think we just had a change of position. Was that Balofey? Let's go back to him. Here we have it. That's not Balofey. This is Redux and Wogrizzle, I believe, as they come through. You're not supposed to overtake on the outside, and there goes Balofey through, as I think that was Redux having to take his time to get through the corner. Unfortunately, Redux down to 8th, and here comes Balofey for the outside line against Wogrizzle into the Schumacher S, and unfortunately that is contact. I've got a feeling Wogrizzle lost it on his own first. Let's follow this. He was a little bit wide. Remember, the soft tyres are going off. Did we get any contact into the corner? Or Wogrizzle? No, he had his own issue. That is going to damage Balofey's car as well. Redux gets those places immediately back, but that's damage on the Team Mega car, who's on those medium tyres for a decent stint there. Unfortunately, that was Wogrizzle, but no, he's bailed to the pit lane. He's decided he cannot run with that level of damage, that level of handling problems, so he has made a very quick decision to call it there. As we see Adaptive Inc. versus Vader here, 3/4 of a second separating them after 9 laps, but he's putting in a fastest sector. That went to purple. Lots of drivers moving up the order thanks to the pit stops of Balofey and of Scavy, as you can see picture in picture there, and unfortunately it's not happened for him. Let's go back to Beregoz, shall we? And I've got to press play again. Here we go. And the other thing that we need to check in on is the live championship standings here, and unfortunately I have to then drag that around as well. So Vader, if things finish as they are, 214 points to Beregoz 205, taking a 9-point lead as they head into the season finale in Monza. I don't think Beregoz is done though yet for today's racing. So that is the live championship if things finish as they are right now. Let's get rid of that though and get back to some Beregoz POV and press the play button. Right, I'm going to stop saying it. My apologies. Here it is then. Beregoz coming through, 9/10 of a second between Vader and Adaptive Inc. Looks like Vader has the measure at the moment of Adaptive Ink, but he has had to use a little bit too much of his boost. Solshock staying out here on the soft tyres for another lap or two and running. And Skycloud has managed to put a 1.6 second gap on Beregoz at this stage. Further back, we've got Jose, who's fading on the soft tyres. He's in P6 with Redux in P7. Black Evo is in 8th place with those red streaks on the otherwise beautiful Bergstein Transport Service car. I'm sorry, Black Evo, but that is not tasteful. Okay, Vicinity in P9 here, and Vicinity has gained 2 from his starting place, thanks I think to those pit stops we were just witnessing. Senor Dude in 10th place, and Jogon Sim still very much in touch with the rest of the field at this point, and Bolide Faye has come back out on a new set of medium tyres right now, the number 92, as he runs on the lead of the drivers who have pitted, but of course he wasn't planning on making so early a pit stop. Scavvy back out as well, and Woe Grizzle, having fixed his car, is out, and they've all gone on to a new set of mediums, given that they've got so much fuel left in the car. I think the softs don't really make sense at this point. They have made sense to get you off the line and get you ahead. Vader's lead, 0.8 of a second only, as we will ride for a few moments, I think, with Adaptive Ink. In fact, let's go onto this camera because this is fun as we run guest driving for the Jamplacht Interiors team, who have not had a great deal of performance this season, you have to say. They have been struggling. Solshock pits then, end of lap 10, start of lap 11 for him. So it's good to be able to give a seat up to a top level driver like Adaptive Ink. Just trying to study his lines myself for no reason. I've just finished my race for this year anyway, and around through here. I've got no idea whether I'm going to carry on competing into next season or whether it's a one and done situation for me, but there it is. Reassure me, folks, that the live chat is still working. Haven't heard from anybody in a little while. I don't mean to sound needy and desperate, but sometimes my live chat stops updating, so I just need to check in with you all. Yeah, this is Adaptive Ink, and this is how to take the Nürburgring Grand Prix. Wow, that's super wide on the exit of the Xiaomi turn 10. Back to off-board there. Taylor saying, hope you race. Who are you, Taylor? I don't recognise your tag. I'll have to know you as somebody else, I'm afraid. I think. Hopefully it was a good one for me. Well, you can find out. Of course, I've put the stream on, so and we'll try and call it later in the week. I might need to put out a call for a spare commentator to come and call that one, because it was dramatic. Skycloud is in P3 at the moment, just navigating that Vidal chicane with a little bit of difficulty, as you probably saw from Beregoz's POV as we run through. He's now down to 0.8 of a second, and this is important for Beregoz, but he has lost 23.7 seconds from Vader, as Jose Luis is one of the last drivers to pit off the soft tyres that he started with. So is Redux right with him there. Taylor is Thump, awesome. Yes, I have definitely enjoyed racing with you, Thump. Thanks, man. Definitely. I wish I'd been able to qualify better today and get out there and race with you on track, but my qualifying was just atrocious. Anyway, we don't want to talk about me. It's Beregoz in P4, Solshock in P5. We've got Balofay and Redux just swapping places thanks to the pit stop. So it looks like Balofay has managed the undercut on Redux. That's very helpful for him, as they'll both come out on the same set of tyres now. And that is Solshock then out of his pit stop from 3rd, back down to 5th place. And he's looking great, 38 seconds away from the lead of the race overall. Black Evo is in P6. Let me know what you think of Black Evo's red bits, red chase lines on his Bergstein Transport Service car. Vicinity's up to 7th with Senor Dude right with him, right behind him. Looks like we just had a change of position. That was for 5th place, I want to say, or maybe 6th. Let's see, this is Black Evo. I'm looking for Vicinity. Someone just had a situation, no? Let's see, where was Black Evo? Well, just a hector glitch, unfortunately. I saw it on the tower, and I went looking for it, and it didn't appear. Senor Dude versus Vicinity, as you watch Beregoz versus Skycloud. Skycloud at the moment, she's looked like she's pushing tremendously hard, but she's keeping her position fantastically out there. Jogon Sim has been now caught. He's on old medium tyres, of course. Jose Luis on new medium tyres, as the drivers are on their starting fuel naturally. As Thump's saying, yeah, Nürburgring is so tough. You're absolutely right. I thought it was just me in practice until I talked to some people. They were like, no, it's tough. There goes Jose down the inside. Can Joe hang on to the inside line as they filter into turn 2? Jose's done this before, and right round the outside this time with a great deal of success goes Jose Luis Cervantes. Let's watch that one again from off board, shall we? This is a late dive from Jose, but under control. Doesn't push or force the issue on the way through. Puts his hands, his life in the hands of the driver who might be about to spin out. Apologies, got the wrong stick there. And that is through then. An important pass for Jose's race. And Jogon Sim opens the door, and Bolide Fate walks straight through it as well. So fantastic overtake from Bolide as well. But it's a lot about the tyre difference here. This is Joe just trying to hang on to these tyres, and he's got himself into a bit of a negative spiral. Cooling tyres, dirty tyres after being passed once, and unfortunately that puts him out into the same boat once again. So that was Bolide Fate going through. As back to, let's check out Skycloud, shall we? She is just 0.5 of a second ahead of Beregoz, who cannot run his own race pace here, and she has every right to hold that position. She's doing a standout job at the moment. Remember, the championship between Beregoz and Vader. The lead right now for Vader is 1 clear second. I think for the first time he's had a clear second of an advantage against Adaptive Inc. And let's see what happens. We've got a change of position there. That's Vicinity in P8. Where is that situation? My apologies. Here we go. This is the replay. Vicinity obviously having to check his mirrors. A move then coming down the inside from Senor Dude, and I think Vicinity is going to get a bit of a snap coming on through this next corner. Oh, okay, interesting. It was just the one place that he lost then, and he's held on to the gap. He's got his teammate behind him who has already pitted. I imagine they'll be in communication. The second digit being number 2, very popular in Team Mega. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've got a lot of it. 92 or 42 and an 82. And we'll just wait to see if we'll get some team coordination here. Of course, different strategies. Right now you can see the Irish flag on the halo for Vicinity, and the very similar colouring of the Italian flag for Ballo Fate. Around the outside, will Ballo go? I wouldn't say that we've been fantastic here at coordinating team manoeuvres, but down the inside we go. Plenty of space left there, and that one was nice and easy for Bolide Fay, who moves forward, where Grizzle and Jogon Sim just swap positions back in the tail of the field, 13th and 14th position now, and Bolide Fay is 54.7 seconds away from Vader, who has had to raise his game to a ridiculous level here, and has done so. And I just cannot believe we had a qualifying settled by 1,000th of a second. Great overtake from Bolide Fay. Just gets a little snap on the way out. Just very eager to gap Senor Dude there. But Bolide Fay securing that one nicely. Back to check up at the front. And it does look like Adaptive Inc. is settling into the pace here of Vader. We'll just have a look at the relative fuel and boost. Looks like in the inverse situation. So it looks like Vader has used less fuel, more boost, and Adaptive Inc. the other way around. So an interesting comparison there, but we are talking about the finest of margins between the two. Now down to 8.5 of a second, but I don't think Adaptive Inc. is going to go for a 50-50 move like that. However, Beregoz will need to. Now 29.8 seconds away from Skycloud, and that was Redux dropping back. Let's just see if we can catch that in the replay buffer. Here he is on the approach into, I think that is Goodyear corner. Does he get on the throttle a little bit early? He does get on the throttle early, and then crunch into the barrier. A light contact, but enough to put some damage on the car, unfortunately for him. And that is down in the order, being passed by 2 cars, unfortunately, I'm sure, on the way through. And there is Woe Grizzle and Scavvy going on by Redux, who was flattering to deceive a little bit earlier on his soft tyres, was looking great out there, and unfortunately for the Jamplacht Interiors car, it is not going well. It looks like might have been a pit stop possibly coming from one driver on the way there. Jogon Sim is on his way out of the pits at this stage, and this is how the tail of the field is looking right now. We've got Wagrizzle, Scavvy, Redux, and Jogon Sim on his out lap, I believe. That's the situation as things stand. Here he is for the Delesi Racing Team. Vader leading in P1 against Adaptive Inc. in that P2 with just 1.1 seconds separating them. Absolutely fantastic here. I wish Beregoz was up in this group as well, but the bulk of the gap here is between SkyCloud and Adaptive Inc. She's running her own race for Kimmy's Racing Team, of course, and the points situation, and she's trying to gather plenty of points, get herself into the top 10. Beregoz bails to the pits. I think that is a show of a little bit of frustration, and he's doing something different to try and have a different phase of this race. I imagine we'll probably get another set of mediums here. Lap 16, that will take him through to potentially lap 32, 34. Kind of area, and then potentially he can have a fast run at the end of the race. So pit lane for him. Sorry about that, just pressed the wrong button. I was going back to the lead here to see what's happening as Beregoz moves behind Soulshock again, it seems. Let's just see where Soulshock comes out of the pit lane. There is Beregoz, 1.3 seconds behind Soul as he goes through. And we've got a driver in P10 who is not showing on the Hector, and that is Jose. So Jose is in P10, and we've got Adaptive Inc. in P2. AJ saying this track has some sneaking turns, slithery little sneaking snakes. Absolutely, the turns here at the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. I used to call it the Green Heck. There's a yellow flag. Why have we got a yellow flag? That's Ballo Faye and Vicinity swapping again. Let's try and find out what happened there. Where is Ballo? Here he is. Number 92. What on earth was that? What on earth just happened there? Let's play that again, Sam, because my word, did that car snap out on him. This just looks completely unnatural. Oh man alive, that's like a puncture situation for Bolide Fate. Wow, I mean, one wheel slightly on the dirt, but I'm pretty sure you've been able to do that time after time beforehand. SkyCloud pits now, and that will be the enduring hope for Beregoz, who's cleared Soulshock here, and Beregoz will undercut SkyCloud. And that is super, super important for Beregoz. Here comes SkyCloud down out of the pits behind both Beregoz and Soulshock. SkyCloud hung on for as long as possible, and Beregoz on his previous lap there, his out lap in lap was a 49.42. SkyCloud's in lap a 50.1. That's what makes the difference, is being able to do that. So Vicinity and Black Evo pit on this lap as well. Let's see the Kimmy's Racing teams for formation flying here at the moment, as Soulshock might feel like he is not only is he number 1, 0-1 on the car, but he is the lead driver in the standings, if not always on pace versus SkyCloud in the beautiful Kimmy's Racing team purple and gold. But the Canadian flag flying with pride on the camera box and of course on the helmet for Soulshock. Vader is, have we just had a chance of an overtake here? We have indeed. Let's see this one play out, as round the outside now. Stewards won't like that outside maneuver. Let's have another look what was going on between these two, because Adaptive Inc. looks like he went down the inside, and then it's side-by-side action as Vader, super brave, all the way around the outside. Now he's out of the white lines on the right-hand side. We'll see what the stewards think of that one, because it might be 50-50 here between the two. You can't make an overtake on the outside. Vader really sensibly kept that one very neat and tidy on the way through, and then we saw what else went down. If you touch that dusty patch just right, it'll lock and sling you, says Pumpkin King. I've never experienced that, so my apologies, but wow, I don't push the track limits like these guys do. These are the absolute creme de la creme, the pinnacle of our VR Sim Racing World Championship. But man alive, is it tight at the top there. Adaptive Inc. 0.5 of a second only between himself and Vader. I keep thinking, whoa, hello. That is astonishing stuff from Adaptive Inc. He's just had a spin, and that is going to help Vader to breathe an awful lot easier from absolutely. And now look at the state of the tyres. Adaptive Inc. almost into the wall. That was insane from Adaptive Inc. Let's see him on the approach into the Vidal chicane then. Treating that chicane with great gentleness. I mean, I can't really explain that one. I mean, let me know in the chat if you can give me an explanation, because then he tries to come through and almost hits the pit wall. That would have been disaster for him. But the upside is that we get to see what he can do now. But the tyres were running out. Vader's in slightly worse condition, but absolutely incredible then. Adaptive Inc. couldn't see a reason. I thought he was going to hit the cone that we saw in the stream there, but no. Insane, absolutely insane, the stuff that's been going on in this race so far. And of course, we are only 20 laps into a 44 lap race. I'm going to change the POV here because Beregoz has nobody in front of him to watch him. As Adaptive Inc. has lost 10 seconds with that spinala. What can he do then in terms of performance now without Vader in front of him, distracting him, causing him dirty air? Can he get back on? And will Vader hold on out there without the distraction, without the focus of having a driver of Adaptive Inc.'s quality right behind him? This would be a real boon for the SVR league if Vader can hang on. We are already tremendously proud of our Dark Lord of the Sith, of course, but to have a driver come in of Inc.'s quality and Vader be able to hold him off has been incredible, especially that qualifying. 1:34.7 is the new fastest lap of the race. It's with Beregoz, of course, and he is on those soft tyres. He's switched out onto the soft tyres for this middle stint. So I think when I saw him before, it was still the pit lane glitch that we get here in GT7, still showing the old selection of tyres. So he did switch on to softs. I thought he might go for a second set of mediums here. And then be fast at the end on the lightest fuel possible. There is Sky Cloud in 4th place. She has lost 7.6 seconds to Beregoz, but still doing a tremendous job and has gained 5.1 seconds on her teammate Solshock, who comes through then, who started on the softs, remember, and will have to presumably stick on the mediums now and go medium for the next ones. Any clues, guys, from any of you who've been able to replay the stream as to what on earth happened underneath the car of Adaptive Inc.? Jose's in 6th with Boliday Fate in 7th place, and Woe Grizzle, car number 11 for the Brokaga team, who are looking at some great points today in P8. Looks like Black Evo and Scavvy have just done a coordinated manoeuvre there between the two of them. Scavvy getting by. He's on mediums. Black Evo is on new softs. That's confusing then. Or was that maybe a mistake out of the final corner from Black Evo? Or is he going to lift? I don't see a... Maybe I see a lift. No, I don't think so. I think it's just the gear shift going on. So what that is all about, I'm not sure. Obviously, Black Evo is guest driving here. He's got the 46 on the car as a motorcyclist that he is. Yeah, Scavvy getting through, and Black Evo staying with him, but on the soft tyres at the moment they're not really running the same strategy. right now, but we've seen this in the Spa race for the G2 race, how good the Bergstein cars look on track together. So it's great to see. There is Senor Dude in P11, running nicely. Senor Dude up 1 from his starting place. We've got Vicinity, I think where he started, or is that just down 1 position so far on the strategy right now, with Redux in 13th place. Unfortunately, probably the biggest loser today so far. Redux down 7. We saw him off track earlier on, and Jogon Sim where he started, but nice and close to the rest of the field. He's only 1 minute 49 away from the lead, but 9.9 seconds from P13. Back to Vader. As the gap to Adaptive Inc has grown, thanks to the pit stop for Inc, that's a 48 and a 40. 48.7 and a 40.4, the out and in laps. And he hasn't been able to put in a new fastest lap, but he's going for it right now. And Vader is pushing then for his now pit stop at the end of lap 22. He has gone half the distance of the race on a single set of medium tyres. Choices now. And can Adaptive Inc manage to regain some of those 10 seconds he lost with the Spinella? And that is a new fastest lap from Inc. That is a 1:33.598. He absolutely has regained some of that time. Is it possible he has just gained 8.5 seconds with his in-lap and out-lap sequence? I think I said a 48.7 and a 40.4. Vader, a 49.8. That's one of them. But there's not many of them, is it? Insane then from Adaptive Inc. Without the distraction, dirty air of Vader in front of him, has been able to extend, and now I think Vader will be using some boost just to try and stop this. But we're back where we were before in terms of the gap between the two. Adaptive Inc onto the soft tyres. So has Vader selected the softs, and remember Vader went for half the race length. He could go medium soft here if he's two-stopping. I'm sure he is. I don't think anyone is going to be able to do 22 laps on the soft tyre, but that opens up a softer tyre strategy for Vader, our championship leader. And just a quick reminder then of how that championship is looking right now. There it is, 2:13 to Beregoz 2:10. So it's going to be tight, whatever happens, unless Beregoz has a disconnection or a mechanical today. I think it's still going to be very tight, and we're lapping already. We are lapping the final driver in the standing. That's Jogon Sim, and Adaptive Inc is catching then by hand over fist in comparison to how it was before. 33.5, 33.8 for Adaptive Inc, 48.7 to 40.4, and that is a 49.8, 40.9. So it's maybe a second and a half Vader lost, but where Adaptive Inc got the rest of that time from when they were 10 seconds apart might be to do with fueling. Vader did put a little bit extra fuel in. You can see the difference there. I'm looking at Adaptive Inc now, and there is on Vader, so the fuel is a little bit different. And the soft tyre stint for Inc will be slightly shorter. He'll have to pit again earlier than Vader. They might still both go medium soft for this one, but they're looking so good out there, so fast. They are 20.4 seconds ahead of second place in the championship, Beregoz. His only hope right now is that Vader and Adaptive Inc push each other so hard that essentially one or both of them have an off, similar to what we saw with Adaptive Inc. 22 seconds for Beregoz behind the race leader, and he's running out of those soft tyres, and I think he's going to have to use the harder compounds. He's going to have to go onto the medium tyres for the latter part of this race and make a decision as early as possible, because he doesn't want to run around and drop off the grip cliff on the soft tyre. There's Sky Cloud in 4th place. She is 33.4 seconds from the lead, 11.2 now from Beregoz. Just check in with Adaptive Inc. Yeah, he's just dropped back slightly, maybe to get some cleaner air on the front wing, maybe to build for a strong push later on, as Soul Shock has lost 12.5 seconds total to Sky Cloud through that stint, and of course will pit slightly earlier. Jose in 6th place, closely followed now by Boliday Fate. on the comeback here. Our third place in the championship driver. Vader with the fastest lap, the 33.421 so far. I say so far because I think things are going to get very quick at the end of this race. Through the Vidal chicane at the top of the hill, into the final corner then they go. And this is Bolide Fate. Let's follow on with him. We saw a small twitch from Jose. He uses the boost, so does Bolide Fate to get by. And we'll go side by side. A little bit of side-by-side action. I think we better switch camera then to see if we can go outside to inside here. We couldn't quite get the switch back done, unfortunately, for Bolide. He needs to try and do the same thing again to get the inside line into this next corner, and he's very much later on the brakes there than Jose. But he's got a better line on the exit of the next one. Let's see. Jose says, okay, I'll give you the left side of the track and then close you out. Bolide Fate having to be quite careful and cautious through there, but he'll get the drive of all drives coming on out of the Pagid Racing corner and in towards Goodyear, and he's got the gap ahead. Does he go a little bit wide? He does go a little bit wide. Oh, fantastic stuff there from Jose to get that position back. Great battling between the two of them. Really, really good as they run through now. Let's see this one from Jose's perspective. Down the outside. Trust the process. Down into the apex. Maybe the tiniest touch, but I don't think that will feature in the post-race reports in the end. But wow, great performance from the two of them. We don't mind a little bit of contact, especially if it doesn't result in damage or spins, but it is a non-contact sport, of course, open wheel racing for obvious reasons. So Jose extending slightly then from Grizzle. You're watching Vicinity's POV. He is tucked up behind Scavy. Maybe not for long. Is he going for the move? He is into the Vidal chicane. Let's go back then to see that. Come on, keyboard, please work. Okay, there it is. So here we go with Vicinity. A late move, yes, down to the inside line, using the inside curb, and actually, do you know what? That was really straightforward then from Scavy, who didn't put up a huge fight as he comes through. Number 42, Vicinity, moving his way up to P11 in the order so far. Scavy in 12th, Redux in 13th, Jogon Sim at the back. He's been lapped now, and Vader has a 1.3 second lead ahead of Adaptiving. Vader on the better soft tyres at this stage. Wow, Vader pushing hard. Adaptiving even further off the painted racetrack. Certainly not over track limits. And Beregoz pits then after his stint on the soft tyres. We knew that was coming fairly soon, and he will drop behind Skycloud again. I hope he's not going to question that decision later on or live to regret it. We'll have a look at Beregoz, who comes out of the pits between Skycloud and Soulshock. He's now got to find his way back up to the back of Skycloud's Kimi's racing team, Ferrari powered SF23, and we've got Soulshock back there, 10.5 seconds. Just excuse me a moment. Okay, so Adaptiving 0.7 seconds behind Vader. And there they go, as Scavy also moves back behind Redux, I think, thanks to a pit stop. Here is Ink, and we'll ride with him as they come upon another of the drivers being lapped. I think that might be Vicinity, possibly. Looks like a dark coloured car. Could be Redux. We'll see. Vader's point of view, excuse me. It is Redux. Oh, Vader, probably not very happy about that, but he gets by, and no problem in the end. The pressure on Vader's shoulders here, absolutely insane, and he is doing such a stellar job so far. I'm incredibly proud of our league and of Vader here. Tremendous stuff. 1.3 seconds. I hope that didn't sound too patronising. I'm in awe of Vader and Adaptive Inc.'s ability at the wheel, and Beregoz too. Beregoz does it not only while keeping all our electronics and telemetry running, but I'm reliably informed from a tremendous source that he's also incredibly handsome, and he'll hate me for saying that. So Vader 1.5 seconds ahead of Adaptive Inc. there in P2. It's lap 28 of 44. Let's see. Adaptive Inc. was able to get a huge amount of pace earlier on when he had some clear air. There's still another pit stop left to make, of course, for these drivers. It will come earlier for Adaptive Inc. again. He'll get the undercut again, but I think Vader will be good on another set of soft tyres at the end of this race, and I think that might give him the advantage if he can hang on and make no mistakes. He's now catching Vicinity here. He'll be getting the blue flags. I expect Vicinity will be getting out of the way very quickly, and there he is. Vicinity, very, very fair driver, as you can see. In the background, Adaptive Inc. gets by as well. Vicinity, so generous, he's managed to completely dirty his tyres to assist them from getting out of the way of the championship battle. Vader in first, Adaptive Inc. in second. We have SkyCloud in third place and Beregoz in fourth. How far away is Beregoz? 7.6 seconds at the moment. Much deeper into his medium tyre, much earlier into his medium tyre stint here than SkyCloud. I think Beregoz quite probably here fueled to the end. We will have a look at the fuel estimate for Beregoz, as I'll just turn off. Sorry, that's for. That one was for the wrong car. So actually, it's looking at 44 or 45 lap for Beregoz essentially. Let's turn off the picture-in-picture, and I will ask who you would most like to see next. A pit stop for Black Evo, and he drops back behind P9 Jose and P8 Senor Dude. Where Grizzle is in 6th place and very close to the back of Bolide Fate. Let me know who you'd like to see. There are some drivers who aren't streaming. Redux, Jogon Sim, obviously Jose I can't connect to. But the rest of our drivers, but not Adaptive Inc., I can give you. So let me know who you would most like to see picture in picture. I hope you're enjoying all the other links I sent into the live chat today, and you can call out any issue with people's tyres or with fuel loads. If anyone has underfueled, I would really appreciate knowing that. That's a hugely advantageous thing for me to know as the commentator. Balofay and Grizzle on exactly the same lap 20 on their medium tyres here, and we are closing in on the latter third of this race. And what an absolutely fantastic race we've had so far to this point. It really has been an incredible sequence from our great top tier 2025 VR Sim Racing World Championship drivers. Into the pits comes Grizzle, hoping, I'm guessing, to do the undercut here, and I don't know, run 15 laps on his next set of tyres. It's a pretty big ask if you ask me, but yes, we will see. Let's go back up then to see Beregoz as we catch up with the Delesi driver. Now 5.8 seconds behind SkyCloud. He's just run a 1:35.7. SkyCloud has run a 1:37.7. Oh, SkyCloud! That is a huge shame, as she has a spin just as we cut to her. And now she's got the challenge of getting the car back into racing speed here. And that is just the exit, unfortunately. I think that was of where are we? Goodyear corner, and it's just too much curb, and the car very low slung out there. And yes, absolutely heartbreaking for SkyCloud, unfortunately, to drop down behind Beregoz, but she's still on for a great finish here. I'm pretty sure she'll be headed towards the pit lane though to mend that rear wing damage. You don't often get that in Formula Racing, the ability to repair the rear wing of the car if you have suffered damage. She declines the pit lane. Don't think the contact was too severe, too strong, but she doesn't want to undo her situation, so she'll keep an eye on her lap time for the next one now, and how it's feeling. How's the car behaving for her, particularly in the rear end, and we'll see. Here is Adaptive Inc. They've just passed the Kimi's Racing driver of Soul Shock, I'm guessing that is. They've just lapped Soul, who is in P6. Absolutely incredible as Inc. comes in to the pit lane then at the end of his soft tyre stint. Vader goes long as we were expecting him to do, and that's Soul Shock in P6. Confirm it's Soul Shock in P6. They have lapped up to 5th place Boliday Fate, and Boliday will be hoping to avoid that particular statistic later on. Where is he on track? He's going into turn 5 and turn 6 Paget Racing, formerly the Ford Curver, and then down towards Dunlop. So Boliday still does have Vader not too far away from him, about half a sector. So I think they will lap P5, and obviously we saw Skycloud have a problem. Beregoz at the moment is 53.4 seconds away from Vader, and he will mark this up, I fear, as a distinctly poor race. I'm sorry to say. I was hoping we would have Vader versus Beregoz take, what, 11 today, but so far it's not been the case. And we'll just check in on the live championship standings again. Vader 214 to Beregoz 209. Now that Vader's back in the lead of the race, of course, that extends his lead, with Balofay in 3rd place, securing very closely, well, I'm pretty sure is securing P3 in the championship regardless. I don't think he is defeatable in that P3. But I'm not going to announce anything until it happens, because I've gone wrong with that before, and we've got stewards and post-race inquiries. It's all provisional until it's confirmed in the days following the Grand Prix here in the league. This is Inc. out of the pits behind one of the Bergstein drivers. That's not going to please him. Oh, that's slowing at the apex from Black Evo, or it's just the difference in pace between Adaptive Inc. and Black Evo at this stage. Where is Vader? There he is, just coming out of the pit lane now. Has Inc. been able to catch Vader, or has Vader been able to use some of that boost? Adaptive Inc. has been pushing hard. He's almost used up his boost at this stage. Vader has held on to a quarter of that boost, 26% maybe even, and Inc. is pushing hard, 1.9 seconds. This time the gap has extended, but he's putting in a purple first sector. This is setting up a showdown at Monza, says Taylor. Absolutely. It is not over till it's over, and we've now got Inc. and we've got turn 1 in Monza. We've got Ascari in Monza, a great deal of times to navigate, and I can't tell you how many races I have seen where people lose results going through Ascari. Remember, the drivers have to run these cars at lowest ride heights possible, and on the absolute limit to compete. This is Adaptive Inc. Then he has had a tremendous lap here, but he is going to spend every bit of his boost to get back into the slipstream of Vader. Reminder, Vader has 25% of that boost. In fact, the green light is still showing. The drivers, these drivers really have to stop slowing on the exits of corners, I think. But we got away with that one as they lap. I think that's Boliday Fate, who's headed in towards the pit lane. There is Inc. as we join him on board. Let's go over the shoulder for Inc. It's a bit easier to see what's going on as he closes in to 0.6 of a second, but he doesn't know unless I think is that Revelit, who was watching, is going to tell him about the boost difference between himself and Vader. He doesn't know that yet. Vader is holding those cards close to his chest. He knows that he's got a good amount of boost. Vader himself won't know how much boost Inc. has got left. It's like 1 or 2 pixels left, 1 or 2% only on the boost, and then Vader is just going to sip that boost as if it were trying to run through the fuel towards the end of an oval race. We've got to put an oval. Can I just put a bid out here? We've got to have an oval race. as part of the championship. I would love to call an oval race, but I would also love to watch these great drivers tackle a completely different discipline. We can even have a caution period mid-race as well. Vader 1.3 seconds. Scavi drops behind Vicinity for a moment, and then Vicinity on his outlap drops back again. In fact, rather than tell you about it, let's try and go see it. Here we have Vicinity using the boost on the approach into the Goodyear corner, formerly the Dunlop corner. You can only sponsor this corner if you're a tyre manufacturer, it seems. But Scavi, you've got a low side and a high side on the way through, and if you stay on the high side on the outside of the corner, you can get the inside line then for the Schumacher S. And there's a big bunch of tyres stacked together there on the entry to the pit lane, and it always tricks me. I always think it's a car. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate the support. Yeah, please, we need as many people to subscribe to the SVR Racing channel as possible. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again until it happens. But if everybody in our league, everybody in our Discord server, and a friend manage to subscribe, we will get to a monetizing stage of 1,000 subscribers. That is clearing away the target. It had taken me 4 years to get to that point. I hope we can shrink that significantly for the SVR channels. Scavi is a slow driver here with Senor Dude and Vicinity around. I think this is looking like a great battle. I apologise for that. No, Scavi was fighting with Vicinity. He was just slow at that particular point on the circuit. As we run out onto the gravel with Scavi here. Let's give you Vicinity's POV once again, shall we? And try and make sure that you can see every detail. Number 27, Scavi, currently in 11th place, but the driver's fighting like crazy over these lower order points. Senor Dude gets out of the way of these drivers. What happened there for Senor Dude? Because that was a change of position. As Vicinity and Scavi go fighting down into the Vidal chicane. Vicinity, he's made that one work once before, but Scavi just tiptoes around. And who's going to win here? The track is clockwise, so there are more right-handers than left-handers, and that was quite something. I just want to check out what was going on with Senor Dude. It's like he missed a gear or something as he came through there. Very unusual to see him yield those two positions like that. Maybe he had to adjust something on his cockpit and went onto the start menu, because that was slower than I was expecting him to be. And he's picked up the pace again. So sometimes we just get little distractions, little adjustments that need to be made, or people's cats crawl underneath their brake pedal. Yes, I have seen it. Not mine, but I have definitely heard drivers use that as an excuse before. And there is Scavi. It's lighting up those rear tyres on the inside as we run down into exactly the place that they were fighting on the previous lap. And Vicinity clears Senor Dude now. I think we'll be in a great position. The gaps at the moment, I can't tell you the lead gap. I can tell you Bolide Fay is 1 second away from Woe Grizzles at 6th place right now. I do want to check in with the lead. It's 0.9 of a second as Inc. Tries now with, what have we got? 7 laps to go. Inc. will try to live with the pace of Vader, who has spent a lot of boost. That is unfortunate for our race, for our championship leader here. I think Inc. is biding his time and waiting for Vader to spend that boost. Here is Vader with just a little bit left. Maybe he's going to hold on to that tiny bit he's got left now for any emergencies later on, or mistakes, or those soft tyres dropping off. You will expect Adaptive Inc.'s softs to drop off before Vader's. He's approaching 33% worn on the tyre, and they're pretty useless after twice that distance, generally speaking. Lap 37 of 44, and it has been an absolutely amazing, fascinating race. Black Evo, mentioned to him, he's gained 5 places from his start position so far. Black Evo running in P8. He is the driver with the most overtakes from his start positions. Anyway, Beregoz is 47.5 seconds away from the leaders, putting in mid 1 minute 36s. That is nowhere near the pace, I'm afraid to say, of Vader and Inc. 34.5 and 2 consecutive laps for each driver in the low 33s. So incredible pace out front. And I think Beregoz doesn't know what he doesn't know until he watches this back and studies the Hector data, which I'm sure he does. And he'll know that Vader has had to raise his game here with the introduction of Inc. New driver to enter the fray to make it a three-way battle for the fastest drivers, especially in qualifying. What a qualifying session we had there, and the way it finished. Let's go down and see what's going on with Scavy here. Pretty sure he's just gained or lost a position as he runs. I think he just passed Jose. Jose going for a late move down the inside into the chicane. Very neat and tidy. And then Scavy, he's really making a habit of this one. Just patiently saying, all right, okay, do what you need to do. I'll just take that place right back. But he has lost the position again here. Let's see how that one went down. And it looks like Jose, ooh, there was a snap. Was there a touch between them? As Jose, let's see, was he able to use a bit of boost to exit the corner around the outside? Oh, wow. Tremendous from both of them. Absolutely tremendous. Change of direction from Jose, getting the front end of the car in and outfoxing Scavy that time anyway. Lap 39, we are down to 5 to go in this race, plus of course the end of the one that they are on, if that makes sense. And Adaptive Inc. is 1 second only. Vader has hardly had any of the race without a gold and black shining Jan-placked interiors car directly in his mirrors. Vader racing, of course, out of Spain. I believe that's a Polish flag for Adaptive Inc., but correct me if I'm wrong there, please. I do get a bit confused between Poland, Singapore, and Monaco. But Vader racing out of Spain will be in a very warm place right now, I think, and especially so as he is absorbing all this pressure right now. What's going on here? That's just a very wide entry into the corner. Matt says, I hate this track. Is that Matt Debater hating on the track? As Beregoz, 52 seconds away. I won't say any more about that, but 52 seconds after 39 laps. That is not the Beregoz we know from this season so far. Skycloud in P4. I think what's happened is that Vader has raised this game to a whole nother level as we finish out this season. The reigning champion is Tequila Monkey, who switched codes over into the GT3 cars this season for this very team on screen right now, the Kimmy's Racing team, and you'll know him by his gold accents on the car. So he hasn't stayed on to fight, but Vader took Tequila Monkey very close to the end of last season as well. So Vader trying to right a wrong from his perspective, as Soulshock now pits with just a few laps left to go. I don't know if that is off the strategy. Let's just check that out. As he got damage on the car, he has damaged the car, unfortunately. So the front wing has been fixed now, but having been as high as 3rd position with those soft tyres early doors, he's down in 11th now, but very close to Senor Dude and Jose as they come through here. That is Senor Dude in front, Jose back 4.4 seconds, who also started on the soft tyres. But Soulshock gained a great deal of time against Jose, a whole pit stop in hand. But unfortunately, that damage on the front has very much stymied Jose and his bid. But both Jose and Soulshock, unfortunately, not able to stay with the dizzying heights of the leaders and Beregoz as well. But these guys now fighting over 10th, 11th positions. I think Vicinity's not far away, just in the foreground there. Yeah, copy that. And you've been watching Vicinity's stream for some time now, so I will. I don't know. I don't tend to find a lot of benefit. Here goes Solshock round the outside. I don't tend to find a lot of benefit watching the leader, but maybe we will, because this is really important for Vader's race. So let's switch over to the Dark Lord of the Sith himself, with just a few laps left to run now. These drivers finishing out their 39th lap. The leaders have already done that, I would imagine. Absolutely, and some are into the second sector of their 41st lap. Wow, absolutely incredible for Vader and for Inc. Yeah, reminder, the lap is a 1 minute 35 average for the fastest drivers, I guess, and that means that, of course, they can put an amazing amount of distance between themselves and the guys at the back. Vader 1.2 seconds, and he is hanging on to that small amount of boost that he has in hand against Inc. here. AJ saying it's a yucky track. It is a challenge. I actually started to enjoy it. Started to quite like it, in fact. I don't know. I might just be a bit weird. Let's see. Apex Specs has just tuned in. Do you like the track anymore after competing here? I have to say, I got into a bit of a rhythm. I wasn't quick, but I did start to get into a rhythm here. It has fewer bad sections than other tracks I've found so far this season, and I would rather race here than Tokyo any day of the week. As great a place as Tokyo is, that track was a choice this season, and hopefully a choice we will correct next time. No problem with street tracks, but that was a nightmare, that track. Anyway, Vader leading by 1.3 seconds. Who are they catching in front? I desperately hope that's not Beregoz. Is it? Let's have a look for here. No, it's not Beregoz. Don't be silly. Okay, he is 57 seconds away. Everyone's thinking about Tokyo again now. My apologies. I shouldn't bring up things like that as we run to a finish here. Let's check out Skycloud in 4th, Boliday Fay in 5th, with Woe Grizzle in 6th place. We've got Black Evo in 7th, some 2 minutes 13 off the lead. Redux in 8th, with Soulshock in 9th place now on those new soft tyres, gaining a couple of places ahead of Senor Dude and Vicinity. Unfortunately, it looks like Vicinity's running out of tyres. No damage on the car. But let's just check whether he'd been off the circuit there at all. I love the fact that Vader has got his name on his halo so large that he's being the star of the show right now as well. Jose's in 12th position and Scavvy is in 13th. We've got Jogon Sim at the back, 3 minutes 14 away from the lead now, but Vader leads by 1.1 seconds on the penultimate lap for these incredible aliens we have in our on our race. Apex says, my braking felt too early on most occasions. Yeah, I'm with you, especially when I've got Pat Finn in my team, and he was insanely good in the braking zones. But yeah, definitely, it's definitely a challenge. It's a lightweight challenge compared to its big sister, the Nordschleifer. But it's still a challenge nonetheless, hence my name for it, the Green Heck. 1 second now between them. Yellow flag up ahead. Who is that for? Can we see? Is that a back marker getting out of the way? Oh, that is heart failure moment there for Vader. As someone has had a spin. Who was that? Was that in fact Skycloud again? On the same corner. Yeah, it was, and she's damaged the car, and then she reverses into the ouch. It's really difficult. Situational awareness, a very, very difficult thing when you've just got hot under the collar, you've just made a mistake, your tires are trash. But yeah, that was bad for the leader's perspective. As Vader comes across a car, reversing into the last, into the sector there onto the straightaway. We're in the final lap 44 here. Let's see what Vader is going to do, because he's got that boost in hand. He's got a 1.1 second lead. I was hoping Inc was holding on to something here, and if he's got anything left in the car, he has to use it now. Of course, time is running out. There is an opportunity into the Vidal chicane maybe, but he's quite low on fuel at this stage, as Vader will just keep that boost in hand, possibly even just for the run out of the final corner. And if Adaptive Inc starts to close in, he'll make the move. Nobody has decided to offer an opinion there on the flag for Adaptive Inc. I'm gonna go with Poland for now. Vader 1.1 seconds ahead of Inc as we run towards the finish now into the Xiaomi curva, formerly Kumho curva, and through Bilstein, which has formerly been known as the Bit curva, and Warsteiner. And Vader is going to do it, I think. 1.2 seconds is the gap through the Vidal chicane for the final time. There is one corner to go. The Hyundai final turn, as he's about to finish what will be one of the hardest drives of his life. Vader wins in Nürburgring. What a finish ahead of Adaptive Inc. Just 1.5 seconds in the end apart, separating them. Absolutely fantastic. There goes Sky Cloud in 4th place, and I think Beregoz is coming. Well, he's got a long way to go. A 1 minute 1 second, but lots of love for Vader there from his teammates, of course. Bolodefe in 5th, with Wogrizzle in 6th place, so that guarantees Beregoz a 3rd place. Wogrizzle in 6th, and Black Evo will fight with Soulshock as they come towards a finish here into that Vidal chicane. Soulshock will have some great tyres, I say, as he just lights up the rear, trying to get the grip to the end of the run, and that is Vader switching off. He's exhausted, but Black Evo and Soulshock finished 7th and 8th place. Here comes Senor Dude in 9th. Redux and Vicinity, what a close finish between the tail end of the top 10, including the 11th place as well. Jose in 12th. Scabby out there in 13th. Jogon Sim has crossed the line, but your podium is Vader and Inc and Beregoz. So Beregoz in the end not losing an enormous amount of points in the championship, just 1 place worth of points. So Vader will go into the final race provisionally with a 5-point delta between himself and Beregoz, a cushion which will allow him to finish 2nd if I know that correctly. Balofe 161 securing 3rd as far as I can see, with Soulshock potentially in 4th and Vicinity in 5th place. That will be helping our point haul here for Team Mega. If you'll allow me to get a little bit partisan now the race is over. Here is your provisional finish then. The fastest lap in the end went by way of Adaptive Inc. Everyone's Joe has Chris just shaming you all for not liking the video while there's 18 people watching, so yeah, make sure you do that for us, please. Really helps for the channel's growth. Vader wins ahead of Inc and Beregoz. Sky Cloud in 4th with Bolodefe 5th, Wogrizzle, Black Evo and Soulshock finishing out there in 8th place. We've got Senor Dude, Redux, Vicinity, Jose, Scavvy and Jogon Sim, and what a screen to show you our World Championship. We've got nations representing all over the world, and this is the 2025 VR Sim Racing World Championship. My name is Webbo. We have had an absolute blast today. Head over to my channel on Thursday for replay races of S2 and possibly AN if I can't find a substitute to call that race for me. Yeah, fantastic to have a great time with you all. Thank you for spending your time either live or replay view. I really appreciate it. If you find any good moments, do drop a timestamp. We've got some post-race edits and sizzle reels being built, so if you've got some good moments there in the I think I'm going to probably do one myself for that finish of qualifying. But yeah, drop a timestamp in the comments. It's really going to help our video editors as we finish out this season. One more round to go for the S1 and Formula Cars, of course, in Monza. We still have next weekend on my channel the G1 race, and then the GT3 drivers will be heading to Road Atlanta for the finale rather than Monza. they were too scared. But we will make sure you can see all the racing action, do all the good stuff on the video. Thank you, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure once again, and we will catch you on the next race day.